If you would tonight, turn to the book of 1 Corinthians. We are journeying through that book in our evening service. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, we're in the middle of that chapter beginning at verse 8. So 1 Corinthians 7 verses 8 through 16. As you turn there, I'm sure you're aware that marriage and the institution of marriage is under attack by all kinds of cultural and even legal forces. From denigrating marriage, to redefining marriage, to even mocking marriage. The number of people in our culture getting married is going down. The average age of people getting married is going up. Multiple marriages continue to increase as divorce is statistically as prevalent as marriage. But what does God say about marriage? We could, of course, turn to the first few chapters of Genesis and say a few things about God's institution of marriage, but this text is perhaps one of the most helpful to the church on the topic of marriage. In this context, Paul describing to the church in Corinth, answering some of the questions that these individuals had about marriage and singleness and all those things. He addresses this in very clear and precise ways that is so practical to the church, both for Paul's day and for ours. Follow along as I read. We'll pick it up in verse 8. To the unmarried and the widows, I say that it is good for them to remain single, as I am. But if they cannot exercise self-control, they should marry. For it is better to marry than to burn with passion. To the married I give this charge, not I, but the Lord. The wife should not separate from her husband, but if she does, she should remain unmarried or else be reconciled.